Hi, this is Rick Brandenburg for North Carolina State University and Turf Bugs and Rock and Roll. And it's a cold, rainy, late winter morning here. And it seems like since the bugs aren't active, it would be a good time to talk about them. And last week we talked a little bit about earthworms, and today I want to talk about nuisance ants. Nuisance ants seem to be one of those pest issues that has increased over the last 10 years or so. And there could be a multitude of reasons for why we're seeing some of these new pests emerge in the last few years. In my opinion, based on my research and the travels that I've done, the people I've talked to, I think one of the situations that we're seeing is that for the last 15 or so years, we have relied very heavily upon a couple of different classes of insecticides that have been very effective against the target pests for which we've used them. But they're not necessarily broad spectrum, which means their continued use has little or no impact on a lot of other potential insect pests that occur in the turf grass. And I think with the emergence of sugarcane beetles and hunting bill bugs and earthworms and even nuisance ants in a lot of settings, it's a reflection of an extended use of these two particular classes of insecticides. And we've certainly got a good track record of seeing this in agricultural crops where we rely heavily upon specific insecticides. New pests often emerge after several years. And I think a good analogy would be if you were the coach of a team and you had a really good defensive scheme and you limited the other team to very few scores, that after a number of years the other team's coaches would eventually figure out what you were doing and they'd find ways to exploit it. They'd start scoring and eventually they'd start beating you if you didn't make some changes. And I think this is really what we've seen over the last few years in turf grass. This is not a negative or an indictment of these products, it's simply a statement of fact. So I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing more nuisance ants in home lawns and sports turf and golf courses on tees and greens. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of people are asking a lot of questions on how to deal with these. Typical applications of, say, a pyrethroid insecticide, such as a Scimitar, a Delta Guard, a Tempo, Palstar, a number of these, typically knock the ant infestation back, but very quickly they have a good likelihood of recovering and causing problems again. And the use of fire ants baits, where if you live in a state where they're labeled or registered, these sometimes will work against nuisance ants. Some products do, some products don't. Depends on the species you have. So they're not necessarily a surefire solution to nuisance ants problems. So one of the things that we started looking at a number of years ago was the use of combination products. And I know I went through a 5-part series on combination products earlier in the year, and we have found that products such as Aloft, which is an Arista Life Science product, it's a combination of bifenthrin and clothianidin, that these products work really well against nuisance ants. Not only do they give a relatively quick knockdown, but they also provide some good residual activity that other products don't seem to provide. So we've looked at these products such as the new Syngenta product, Tandem, which is a combination of their two products, Scimitar and Meridian, and then the older combination product, Electus. It's been around for a long, long time. These products, for whatever reason, when we combine the two products within them together, we get fast and long-lasting nuisance ant control. So if you've got an issue with nuisance ants, this is the first direction that I would go. I would look at these combination products. And there's certainly nothing out there that says you can't, as long as you stay within the label, you can't create your own combination products of combining a pyrethroid with a neonicotinoid and probably have pretty good success with it. So hope that helps. As we start to get into spring now, we'll start talking about some of the potential pest problems that we run into and give you an update on where we stand with products and some of the research findings. Hope that helps. Look forward to seeing you again next time.